What is up, band geeks? It feels so good to say that. So I've got good news and I've got bad news. The good news is we have a gig. The gig vlogs are coming back. The bad news is that I have not been diligently practicing and I am incredibly out of shape. So if you're out of shape too, and you've got stuff coming up, or maybe you just want to get back into it, this is a video about how to get back in shape fast. Welcome to Clarinet Boot Camp, y'all. If you're a beginner, I would do this once a day. If you're somebody who's a little bit more advanced, I would maybe do this in the morning and then again at night. But just be really careful. If you feel any tenderness in your bottom lip, just like start off doing like one of these per day. Day one, we're just gonna do 30 minutes of consistent practicing. Just 30 minutes. It's good to set a timer. So you're gonna set a timer. We're gonna do this in 10-minute intervals. So we're gonna set a timer for 10 minutes and all we're gonna do is long tones with a tuner. Because if you don't do long tones with a tuner, then you might as well not do them at all. The second session of 10 minutes is going to be scales and technique. So any sort of Behrman scale etude that you have, going through all of your major and minor scales, that'll take 10 minutes, and any technique exercises in a book, like you know what I mean when I say technique exercises. And then the third span of 10 minutes is going to be just working on an etude of your choice. The Rose etudes are a great place to start. If you don't have etudes, they are available online for free at imslp.org. And if you don't have a technique book, the entire close-a method is also on imslp.org. Or you can check out my video on the best scales and etude books that are out there, which I will link at the end of this video. Day two, we're gonna do 40 minutes. We're gonna split it in half. So we're gonna do 20 minutes, take a break, 20 minutes. So for the first 20 minutes, 10 minutes of that is going to be, you guessed it, long tones for 10 minutes with a tuner. And then scales and technique for 10 minutes with a tuner. And then you're gonna take a minimum of a 20-minute break. You've already warmed up, leave your clarinet out if you want, just give it a swab, a quick swibby swab. And then when we come back, wet the reed, play a couple notes. Then we're gonna set the timer again for another 10 minutes and we're gonna do 10 minutes of technique exercises. So we've already done our scales, now we're just doing some technique stuff. And then the last 10 minutes is going to be the etude. So that is day two. I do want to say that you want to do this consecutively. So like, if you're starting on a Monday, Monday is day one, Tuesday is day two, Wednesday is day three. If you take too much time in between sessions, this is not going to work because we're trying to get you back into shape. Day three is going to be an hour of practicing, but again, we're going to split it right down the middle, 30 minutes on one side, 30 minutes of another. The amount of time that I'm giving you, like the 10 minutes on this, 10 minutes on this, you can split it up however you want. It's basically just the time spent on the clarinet, with the clarinet in your face. So this is just like what you're working on. This is just a suggestion. This is how I do it, but you can play anything you want. Just start with technique, start with long tones, start with stuff that you already know how to play. Day three. All right, so this time we're gonna do 15 minutes long tones with a tuner. 15 minutes of long tones. And just set a timer and forget about it. And then when the timer goes off, you're done with your long tones. All right, for the next 15 minutes, you're gonna do scales and technique. And then after you do that, we are going to take a 30-minute break. A minimum of 30 minutes. I don't know what your school schedule is like nowadays, or if you're even in school, or if, depending on when you watch this video. Do some like in the early afternoon and then do some in the evening. Like split them up. So then when we come back from our break, we are going to do 15 minutes working on an etude. The same etude that we've been working on for day one and two. Unless you know your etudes, you know, forwards, backwards, upside down, it's not going to make a whole lot of sense to do a different etude every day. Just keep working on the same one. Like spend a week on an etude. That's like the whole point. And then for the last 15 minutes, we are going to do one of two things. We are going to practice our repertoire, so any solo piece that you're working on or want to learn, or we're going to do 15 minutes of sight reading. Anything you want to sight read, this is your time to have fun. Or you can do like you know, practice your solo for 7.5 minutes and then sight read for the next 7.5 minutes, however you want to break it up. But this 15 minutes is just going to be playing something new or working on an actual piece of music. If you feel that your embouchure or your endurance is starting to fade a little bit, after this day, repeat days 1, 2, and 3 as often as needed to really build up the strength in the embouchure. You might notice that if your embouchure is feeling a little bit weak, you might have air escaping out of the sides, which gives you that like that hissing sound that's really annoying. That's a sign that your embouchure is getting weak. If you're feeling any pain in your tendons, that is a sign that you are getting tendonitis, and that is not good. You're going to want to take more frequent breaks and like do a couple stretches. I'll talk about that more at the end. But we want to keep our arms healthy, because if these go, we're screwed. And if you start feeling tenderness in your bottom lip, like, you know, when you play for a while, it kind of gets a little tender, it kind of hurts a little bit. That's probably going to happen. You can only move your teeth around so much on your bottom lip before it starts to really affect your embouchure. The best advice is just to like cool it with the practicing, and because we want to be able to practice the next day too. So cool it with the practicing and just start again the next day. Day 4, assuming everything goes well and we are ready to move on to day 4, we are now going to do 45 minutes of continuous playing. No breaks this time. 10 minutes. Let's hear it. Long tones with the tuner. All right, another 10 minutes, scales and technique. The next 10 minutes, your etude. And then for 15 minutes, repertoire and sight reading. So we're doing 10, 10, 10, and then 15. You can alternate what you spend 15 minutes on. Maybe the next day you spend 15 minutes on long tones and then 10 minutes on everything else. Importance is setting a timer, because you might feel like you can like keep going, but it's important to keep everything healthy. So small baby steps. We have made it to day 5. Now we're gonna do 1 hour of consistent playing. 30 minutes. These 30 minutes, these are gonna be spent long tones, technique, warm up well. So it's gonna be a full half an hour of warming up. Long tones with a tuner, all of your scales, all of your technique exercises. You want to spend lots of time warming up. Sets you up to have a successful practice session, and it also sets you up to be able to practice smart. I have a ton of videos on how to practice smart, and I will also link those at the end of this video. And then the next 30 minutes is going to be your etude, your repertoire, your excerpts, your ensemble music, any music that you've been working on. You're just going to spend a full 30 minutes on those. So feel free to watch this video again, take some notes, make a schedule for yourself also, because if you have everything written out and you make a schedule for yourself, that is the best way to keep yourself on track. This is my practice schedule, because like I said, I am very out of shape. So we are getting back into shape. If you want some extra credit and some extra things that will also help you endurance-wise, sort of lung and air-wise, and keeping your tendons healthy, this is going to be something that I want to talk about. There's a video on YouTube called The Breathing Gym. If you're a wind player, you may have heard of it. I will link that below. It's this video that these 2 low brass dudes put together, and it's just a whole bunch of breathing exercises. It's really, really helpful to think about the breath and to do these breathing exercises. Obviously, if you feel lightheaded and like you're going to pass out, maybe take a break. But Breathing Gym is an excellent resource to use if you're trying to get more out of your lung capacity. Have you ever done cardio? If your body is physically out of shape, maybe do some physical exercise, because physical exercise will help to exercise your lungs. One time I was in a master class and I was taking too many breaths. I think it was with Fred Ormond. And he told me that I should go out and run more because it would improve my breath capacity. And I took that as, are you saying I'm physically out of shape? What the heck? I don't know. I thought it was a weird piece of advice to give somebody. But at the same time, it does make sense to keep your body healthy, because it is our body that is producing the sound, and it's our lungs. Like we play a wind instrument. I think you see what I'm getting to. Do cardio. What the heck? Why not just be the best person we can be? For the healthy tendons, healthy wrists, healthy fingers. I don't know if you know this, but I have a second YouTube channel where I challenge myself to do something new every 30 days, and I just did a whole bunch of yoga for 30 days. Anyways, that's how I kind of discovered this. Yoga with Adriene. She's incredible, and she has yoga for literally anybody, anywhere, feeling anything. There's yoga for grieving, yoga for gratitude, yoga for runners, yoga for musicians, yoga for nurses, so many. But she also has yoga for musicians, and it's all about arm health and strength and keeping your tendons healthy, and I will link those videos below also. On days 2 and 3, when you're dividing your practice session up into 2 portions and you've got that break in the middle, you could do a real quick yoga exercise just to keep your body healthy, because it's all about our bodies being healthy and keeping our lungs healthy, keeping our wrists healthy, keeping everything healthy, and getting back into shape in a healthy way. We're pretty much athletes, but on like a micro level, and it's really difficult. It's really difficult, and sometimes it's hard to get back up to that level that we were at. So if you just take a week, take some time, follow this schedule that I put together. Anyways, I hope this video was helpful. Leave a comment below, give it a like. Have you been practicing? Let me know where you are in your clarinet practicing journey. Let me know if this helped. Let me know if you have any questions, and I will see you in the next time. So until then, go practice!